It's strange how silence can be louder than thunder. That morning, Seattle felt quiet, unnaturally quiet. The kind of quiet that comes right before you realize your life has changed forever. I remember the steam rising from my coffee mug, the rain sliding down the window, and the reflection of my own face, tired but calm. On my phone screen, her message was still there. Just 6 words. We should talk. It's about Ethan. Ethan, my husband. And the woman texting me was my best friend, bitter Clara. At first, I thought it was about work. The 3 of us worked at the same investment firm downtown. Long hours, high stakes, fake smiles. But as I stared at those words, I felt something in my chest. That sharp, instinctive twist that only happens when your soul already knows the truth before your brain catches up. By noon, I was standing in Clara's office. She didn't look guilty. That was the worst part. She looked rehearsed. Sit, she said softly. I did. She folded her hands on the desk, and for a second, her voice cracked. But only for a second. Emma, she said. I didn't mean for it to happen. The air left the room. I stared at her. The woman who'd held my secrets, shared my wine, laughed on my couch, and realized she was talking about him, about Ethan, my husband. He was everything I thought I wanted, charming, intelligent, confident. But I'd ignored the way he always needed an audience. I was too busy making him look good, at work, at dinners, at life. Clara kept talking about love and mistakes and timing, but I barely heard her. Because my mind had gone completely still, I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just smiled, and that was the moment my revenge began. That night, I cooked dinner like always. Ethan came home late, smelling like rain and like her perfume. He kissed my cheek. I smiled back. He poured himself a drink. You okay? You look quiet. I had lunch with Clara today, I said. He froze, just a flicker, then that practiced grin. Oh yeah? How is she? She's great, I said softly. She told me everything. He didn't speak. Then he laughed, soft, nervous. You're overreacting, Em. I'm really not. He poured another drink. He didn't notice I wasn't drinking mine. That night, when he fell asleep beside me, I watched his chest rise and fall. He looked peaceful, almost innocent, calm, cold, and I realized I didn't want to destroy him violently. That would be too easy. No, I wanted him to watch his life fall apart piece by piece, just like I had watched mine. The next morning, I went to work early. I sat in the glass conference room waiting. When Ethan walked in, the board was already there. His seat was empty. Good morning, I said softly. He blinked. What's going on? The chairman cleared his throat. Emma will be taking over the Westbridge account. Effective immediately. That was his account, the biggest one in the firm. He didn't know I'd spent the last 3 weeks quietly collecting every piece of data, every email, every note he'd ever ignored. He didn't know I'd already presented it to the board as if it were his own negligence, and he had no idea the anonymous email that had triggered an internal review came from me. When the meeting ended, he pulled me aside. What the hell was that? Just business, I said, his face flushed red. You think this is funny? No, I whispered. I think it's necessary. Then I walked away. For weeks I kept smiling. At work, at home, even when he accused me of being cold, he started drinking more, coming home later, calling Clara less. She'd already left the firm, reflective. He was unraveling slowly, beautifully, and I made sure to be there for every second of it. Then came Thanksgiving. The air smelled like cinnamon and rain. We hosted dinner for his family. My idea, of course. He tried to act normal. He carved the turkey, laughed too loudly, but when his mother said, Ethan, I heard your department's under review, he looked at me, panic in his eyes. I smiled, poured him another glass of wine. By dessert, he leaned close and whispered, You did this, didn't you? Kissed softly, I leaned in, kissed his cheek, and whispered back. I kept smiling. That night, he slept on the couch. In the morning, he was gone. His clothes, his laptop, his wedding ring, all gone. No note, no goodbye. I didn't cry. I went to work. By afternoon, HR called me in. Apparently, Ethan had sent a company-wide email at 3 a.m. confessing to falsifying reports and leaking client data. The board suspended him immediately, and since Clara was already gone, she couldn't defend herself. It was almost disappointing. Weeks passed. I got promoted. I bought a small townhouse near Lake Union. I learned to enjoy silence again. Then one evening, I saw her, Clara, standing under a street lamp, holding an umbrella, looking older, paler. She smiled when she saw me. "Emma," she said, "you won." "No," I said softly. "I survived," she nodded slowly. "He left Seattle. No one knows where." "Good," I said, and walked away. Months later, I got a letter. No return address, just my name, in Ethan's handwriting. Inside was a photo, the three of us, smiling at a company retreat. On the back he'd written, "You taught me how to lose." I burned the photo, and that night I stood by the window, watching the city lights blur through the rain, and realized something. Calm, strong revenge doesn't heal you, but it teaches you who you are when everything breaks. And me? I was the kind of woman who could smile through betrayal, pause, and never let them see me.